Hi guys, Jordan from P&P Campers. I'm just going to do your handover video on your Knaus Sky Eye Plus. It's a 2015 model and based on the Fiat Ducato chassis. So we're going to start on the bonnet. The bonnets on these A classes are normally similar sort of idea to this, where they're quite difficult to actually get into. It's very common for it to be a bit tight like this. So on the left hand side here we've got your washer fluid, your coolant. Brake fluid sits in the reservoir at the top just there with the yellow cap. Engine oil gets topped up through that one just there, and you have got access to the engine oil dipstick through this little hole just here. Now you've got Fiat 249 is your white paint colour on the body here, and the if you want to jump start the vehicle, you've got a positive terminal for the engine battery just there and a negative terminal just here. Now the vehicle itself on the Knaus tablet little chassis plate here is 4 tons, so you do need the C1 license in order to drive this, but there you go. As for other bits and pieces, you've got your fuel filter at the back on the right hand side there, but that's about it really for under the bonnet. So on the near side just here we've got your fuel filling point, which is diesel, just inside this little cap here, which you will need your ignition key to get that open. We've then got, like a lot of the Knaus vehicles, this huge outside locker which has essentially all of your well, I'll run you through it. They like to put everything in this one place, which is something that I really like. So you've got your twin leisure batteries just here on the left hand side, which both look in good condition and a decent size. You've then got your freshwater drain off point, your drain off handle there, pipe drains, boiler drain, wastewater drain, and your hookup point. So if I just explain to you, so the way that we use all of these, so at the moment these are all in their open positions. All right, so because it's so cold today, we've had to drain all of the vehicles out of all of their water. So they're all in the open position. To close them off, we turn them like this, and so now when I fill the freshwater tank up, which is through this little cap up here, the water will actually stay inside the tank. Whereas if I started filling water up through here and this handle was in this position, all of the fresh water would just come straight out of the drain. So freshwater filling point up here as well. So at the moment I'm going to leave these in the open position because it is so cold, it's going to get to freezing tonight. So you've then also got, so like I said, freshwater and wastewater. You've then also got your pipe drains, which is literally just, I don't know, just essentially just to drain out the pipes. If it's going to get seriously cold outside, then you might, have a little look at opening this one up as well, just to get rid of any excess water that is open as well. This little bit just here, just so that you know, is blowing through some warm air. So I've got the heating system on at the moment, and this is blowing warm air through into here to keep all of this section here warm and to stop this little pipe here freezing up. You can lift up the flap just here to allow you to pull the hookup lead through the underneath of the vehicle and up into this point just here, so that you can actually have the hookup plugged in to the point there, giving you mains power inside the vehicle whilst having this locker completely locked up. So that's why they do that from there. If you don't want to have it up through the floor, you can just plug it in through there and have it coming out the locker, but really, it won't take you 2 seconds just to reach your hand up underneath like that to get it through. So I think it's all a really good idea. Okay, so that locker there is, like I said, essentially just kind of all of the bits and pieces that you might want to get to from the outside are just there. And the last thing I'm going to show you in this locker here is the boiler drain. So at the moment, as I said, this is in the open position, and I know that it's in the open position because this little blue button is poking out. So to close this back off again and to allow the boiler to actually take some water on, I turn the top dial there and push the blue button in. Okay, so now if I draw water through to it, which I'll show you how to do inside, the water will stay inside the boiler. So that's popped back out. Because it's so cold today, it's automatically popped back out again. Okay, so it will drain the water out from the boiler now. So if I wanted to essentially, because it's an automatic drain off point, it's a little bit hard to explain, but because that's an automatic drain off valve, it will open up about sort of 4 or 5 degrees to stop it from freezing. But if you still want to use the boiler and you still want to heat the water up, obviously you do need to close it off. So to do that, all you need to do is, I mean, it's another point having this little heater just here probably help a little bit as well, although it should probably be run from the thermostat inside. But if you want to actually keep this from working, you basically need to turn the heating on, like I've got in the moment, to kind of trick the boiler into it being warmer than it actually is. Okay, and once it gets to a sort of temperature where it thinks it's warmer than it is, you will then be able to turn this off. So I reckon I'll be able to do it now, actually, if I turn it back there. Okay, so that's in the closed off position now. Okay, so once you close that boiler drain off, I'm going to open it up again now because it's going to get so cold. Pop that bit out. It's coming out just a little bit slow. Once you've drained the water out from all of those places just there, that's the vehicle completely winterized. You have also got, because it's such a high spec vehicle and such a sort of well built, brand and all that sort of stuff, it's what you'd call a double skinned van. So you've got 2 floors in this vehicle essentially. Now the original floor, or the bottom floor, sorry, is this one that you can see here, which has got this kind of, well, in the back, it's got this kind of corrugated metal flooring, so that you can put sort of bikes, motorbikes, whatever you want, anything sort of a little bit heavy and rugged, you can put in here at the back without damaging the floor too much. But as you can see through there, you've got a big gap, almost like a cavity between 2 walls, between the floor that actually comes out onto the ground and the floor that you actually walk on inside, which is this level here. So if you can sort of see it there on these lines here, you've got the bottom floor and the floor that you actually walk on inside. So that's the way that they lay these vehicles out. And the real beauty behind that is that because you've got that cavity there, all of the sort of seriously cold air gets stuck between them and doesn't tend to come up into the vehicle so much. So, as for sort of winterizing and kind of vehicles that are good for going long distances or going to seriously cold places, this is pretty much as good as you can get. Only really tends to be the sort of bigger German, Spanish, Italian sort of vehicles, the continental vehicles that have this kind of configuration. But there you go. So we've then got at the front, just here on the off side now, we've got the gas locker. So you have got space in here for 2 6-kilo propane bottles. We only tend to give away 1 6-kilo bottle here. This is full, but this is the only one we tend to give away. So to turn the bottle on, we go anti-clockwise round to the left, that turns it on, and clockwise round to the right, turns it off. This is your regulator up the top just here. This is a bulkhead regulator, which means it's up to current regulations. You've got a 2023 dated pigtail hose, so you've got till 28 to replace that. And the only other thing I will say about this is that you should always turn the gas off before you start driving. But there you go, that's it really. So I'm going to leave that on for the moment because I have got a few things working inside on the gas. So inside the habitation door, there is a little push button there to get your step to come in and out. You've got a little bit of lower storage, or access to the lower storage here between the 2 cavities down here, which I'll just show you. So got a little bit of space in there for some storage. You do also get really good access to that inside the vehicle in the floor, which I'll show you when we get in there as well. So then got the toilet cassette locker. So this is a Dometic toilet cassette, I believe. Yep, Dometic. So if I show you how I took that out, actually I didn't really show you that. So we lift up on the little greeny yellow tab and pull the cassette towards us. Once you've got it to here, you can then empty it out from this draining point just here. And there's a little button at the back that you need to be holding down as you empty it as well. Push it all the way back in when you finish with it, and that is it. I've got this little lock there. The other locker at the back is just more access to the back, really. You've got in there, you've got your awning winder and your jack and wheel brace there as well. Just open that up so we get some heating coming in here. Okay.